is Peggy Sorrell. I was born in Strawberry Hill, Twickenham in 1923. I was in a reserved occupation, but I wasn't enjoying the work. And one day my mother said, "Well, what do you think about joining up?" And I said, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea." And we went through the 3 services. We decided on the Air Force because we didn't want khaki. We didn't like the Wren's very furry cloth. Yes, and also because I had blue eyes, which would match the uniform. My father came home that night and we said I was going to join up. So he said, "Right, you must go and get all the papers from the..." No, we said, "We've already decided she's going in a row." I remember the day war was declared, 11 o'clock. The air raid warning went. Oh my goodness. But the also went shortly after. I remember that as it was yesterday. My father's in the middle and I'm the only female beside him. I decided to be wireless operator because it was the best pay. Then I went to Newcastle where I trained at the General Post Office for 4 months. And after that I got posted to Kidlington, which is near Oxford. That was a glider station. After about a year or more, I had to do another course because they'd introduced high-speed wireless. And that was at Chiswick. I had 4 months at Chiswick. I got posted to Leighton Buzzard on a command. And as soon as I could, I got the opportunity. I got posted to London, to Air Ministry, Whitehall. And that's where I spent the rest of the war. I was a wireless operator. That's the Morse code, which is now obsolete, which is rather sad. I started off doing the hand operation, but as the years went by, it got more technical and mechanical, and it went on to what they called high-speed wireless. It was all in code, so it wasn't very exciting. And the tape would come out of a machine all in dots, and it was the Morse code. So 1 dot was 1, and then a dash was a bigger gap. And we used to have to type from that, put it through a machine, and type it up, and then send it to the decoders. Well, it was a bit different from living at home. You had a bed with 3 biscuits on it, I think they called them, which was your mattress. Every day you had to get up and make the bed in exact order, folding the blankets a certain way. And you had what they termed a bomb box at the end of your bed, which was like a mini box. And that's where you put all your kit. And you had, I think, 1 or 2 hangers above your bed. I always used to get dressed and undressed standing on the bed. I don't know why. Perhaps it was warmer than the ground. London is so built up. You might go down Regent Street and the parallel streets had a bomb, but you didn't see it. So it wasn't like being in the East End of London. It was terrible. Night after night they had terrible bombings. I nearly got killed when my grandparents invited me out of London to get a break from the chaos of London, and flying one of those buzz bombs came over and it dropped in the village I was in. on the schoolhouse and the pub. My house was almost next door to that. The wall in the room that I was in collapsed, and with it some of the ceiling, of course. I went under the bedclothes, and when I came back, the rest of the people were leaving the house. And I said, well, what about me? And they said, well, we called out and you didn't answer. So I followed down the stairs, and the woman in front of me, who was about 40, I should think, was barefoot and carrying her shoes. And of course there was plaster and broken glass everywhere. I said to her, for goodness sake, put your shoes on. You know what she said? They knew when they heard. After the war, it seemed very strange that suddenly people who automatically chatted on the trains and everything like that just went back to the old ways, everybody hiding behind their newspapers and that type of thing. I think everybody that had been in the service would have felt at a complete loss about what they were going to do with their lives from then on. It was very difficult. I had a friend who'd been in the RAF with me, and she was quite keen to be an air hostess. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I thought, well, I'll go along with this. And my sister worked for the Home Office, the chief of the Home Office, and one day she came home and she said, if Peggy wants to be an air hostess, he says ring Clive Adams tomorrow on this number. He's interviewing people. So I rang him up, and you won't believe what he said. He said, women air hostesses? No way. He said, we'll never have that. We're looking for ground hostesses. So we both went along and we got interviewed for ground hostess. And within a year, they were taking air hostesses. Well, my friend left and went to a charter company, and I didn't really want to be an air hostess anyway, so I stayed on and stayed with them for 35 years.